Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. Now, there's this case or allegations against the Sizok'thola team. And the person who is trending is XOLANI. We know XOLANI as a presenter of Sizok'thola, which is a program that plays, on Moja Love. It's a Moja Love program. It has, grabbed the attention of the masses in South Africa. And it has exposed the role of foreigners in South Africa when it comes to drugs and other illegal substances that they are selling to our people, and the way they are using our people to sell these drugs. And XOLANI has been very active with his team, in exposing these guys and working with the police to arrest them. And we've seen in other episodes where even XOLANI was very surprised to see that some of the people who they've arrested, they are now out, So recently, they've been accused of killing a person, during one of their raids. And I think this week, there was information that XOLANI is going to hand himself over to the Tembisa police station, if I'm not mistaken. But the one thing that we need to talk about is that it is our people who are collaborating with Nigerians and other foreigners to destroy South Africa. And this is painful. It is our people who are collaborating with these Nigerians to destroy our people, to destroy South Africa. Because when you listen to some of the first people to speak about XOLANI negatively, it's South Africans. When we check on Instagram and Twitter, the ladies who are against XOLANI are these slay queens who are benefiting from Nigerians. So whatever is exposing is affecting their lifestyle. And today he hands himself over, and some South Africans are celebrating. I even saw, I'm not sure how legit that letter is, from the Public Protector's Office, stating that they must, stop investigating these drug-related matters because there's a backlog. Why did she choose drug-related matters? Why didn't she choose pocket picking? Because there are many useless crimes that are reported. Even people are arrested, useless crimes to, sentenced for 3 months in prison. For what? Meanwhile, there are drug lords roaming in the streets, in the suburbs, enjoying life here in South Africa. And they enjoy the protection, of our politicians and slay queens and all other people who are benefiting from them, compromising the future of South Africa. I have never met a hobo who is a foreigner. I've never met a drug addict who is a foreigner roaming on the streets. Never. It's only South Africans. It's only these vets dropouts and UJ dropouts. It's only these young people from the village who were introduced to these drugs. And it's very painful. And then someone now want to stand and say they are against XOLANI. They are against that Moja Love, program of Sizok'thola, saying that they are brutalizing people. How can you be nice to someone who's selling drugs? How can you be nice, you go unarmed to a house of a drug lord, of a drug dealer? That person sells something that is not legal. Obvious, they are armed. And if you want to go there loose, they will take you out. They will kill you. You will die. So there's no way that XOLANI can be nice to these guys. There's no way. And every time, even if we say it's very brutal, but what happens after that brutality, if that's the case? We see these guys taking out the drugs, and that is his mission. He wants you to give him the drugs. And when it comes to you, it comes with information. And he will get the drugs. And if he's not going to use that brutality that we claim that he's using, even though we have never saw that, if he's not going to use that, it means he's not going to get the drugs and doesn't have a case. And then they will come, in their numbers to sue Moja Love. Because even himself is aware that they are against him. They want to kill him. They want to take him out. It's disturbing their business. But what is South Africa saying? What is the SAPS saying? What is the Minister of Police saying? What is the National Commissioner of SAPS saying? They're very quiet. Why don't they link him or put that program to work with the anti-drug unit in the SAPS? And he gets money from the state and they televise everything, collaborate with that channel, it's South African. Collaborate with Moja Love. Then we see everything. We see the state taking head on drug laws. They won't do that. Politicians of South Africa will never do that. But it is painful to see, South Africans, not standing with XOLANI, not protecting him. Because there are people who hate what he's doing because it disturbs their peace. And most of the people who are enjoying the proceeds of drug money, they are not using it to build communities. No. They are using it for a lavish lifestyle, destroying people in order to maintain a lavish lifestyle. It's bad. It shouldn't be supported. I stand with XOLANI. I support him. I support that program. And I think the state must also support that program, not only by words, but putting in resources to make sure that it is not only about the TV program, but working against these criminals, exposing them, arresting them, and making sure that they throw away the keys. But we see some South Africans, these jollof ladies in Twitter and Instagram, saying that he has been brutalizing people. At least it's high time that they also face, the might of the law. Which law? Even if he hands himself over, how do we benefit as a people? How do we benefit as a people? So it's bad. We need to support, each other as South Africans. These are the programs that even government should have, form part of. Through resources, putting in resources, making sure that the anti-drug unit, if it exists in the SAPS, it works with these guys directly. Give them tactics to deal with these criminals. It seems like XOLANI, he has that heart and he put his life on the line. Even politicians are very quiet when it comes to this guy. And you will question yourself, are our politicians, enjoying this drug money to protect these drug lords? And who are these drug lords? Because they know that if this show goes on, they are going to add a bigger team. They are going to have a bigger team that is now going to grow and deal and search straight for the drug lords. So the drug lords have to finance for the disruption of XOLANI and that entire program. His life is at risk. All those bodyguards' lives are at risk. They were supposed to be casualties. There's no way that when we are because fighting against crime is war in itself. There's no way that they can't be casualties. Either way, someone had to be injured or die. Either way. Because if a person runs away, it means that we haven't solved the problem. You must catch this person and use all the means to make sure that you catch this person. This can include, firing shots, firing exchange and things like that. So it had to happen like that, and he needs protection. He needs protection. I'm not saying that I encourage those guys to shoot people. I'm not saying that I encourage those guys to be brutal. But if you have information that this person has drugs and then you try to talk to them and then they don't want to listen to you, what else do you have to do? You have to use other tactics. And we know that all the police stations, they do, the interrogation unit or the interrogation room is not that friendly. So wherever XOLANI is with his team, that's a house turned into a crime scene and interrogation room at the same time. And if a person doesn't want to talk knowing that they are hiding something, that is disrespect. They disrespect his time, all the logistics of the program, because they have information, even that of the state, because we see him sometimes entering and invading with SAPS. So hands off XOLANI, let him come back to work and deal with these drug dealers until to the core, until he finds the drug lords and they get exposed and deported back to where they come from, these foreigners. Thank you for watching. This is Authentic Info Podcast.